who doesn't like a full bowl of pasta? Look at the steam coming up. I'm so excited over this. If you had fresh oregano, but or parsley, that'd be a good garnish for this. For some reason, I can't find my parsley. I have no idea where it went, but I couldn't see it in the refrigerator. So I'm just gonna just sprinkle a little bit of basil in there and a little bit of parm. Okay, does that not look great? I cannot wait to bite into this, but guess what? This is Chris's dish. So I'm gonna walk over there and give it to him. Hey, hi, well, welcome to, I'm Amy. Welcome to my little kitchen. I don't know, you guys, here, wait a minute. I have the cap over here, but forgot the bottle because guess what? We're going a little bit of Italian today. So I thought how appropriate to have a little bit of glass of, I chose Pinot Noir, local winery here for this kind of wine. Wine is not going into what we're making, but it may go well with what we're making. Anyway, I just felt like it. And besides, I got my hair cut today and highlighted, and it's amazing what a haircut will do for you. It just kind of lightens up your mood. You kind of feel like not a new person, but like renewed. Like you got this stuff that was hanging out way too long, just chopped off, and it's kind of bouncy and fresh. I don't know. I'm going on and on about nothing, but I feel good today. It is cloudy. It is rainy, kind of wet, kind of that typical spring day right now. But I feel kind of good because I got my hair cut. Now, is that crazy or what? So, cheers to you. Oh yeah, this isn't bad. I'm typically a vodka and a like club soda with a lemon lime in it. The least calorie drink imaginable. It's probably why we chose that drink for our wedding. We did a little bit of a variation to it and kind of made it special, and that was our special drink for our wedding, Chris and I. Anyway, I'm mumbling. I realize that. Sorry about that. We are going to make vodka pasta sauce. I've been wanting to do this sauce for a very long time. Now, your typical marinara sauce is fine. It's perfect, you know. Sometimes I add a little bit of red wine to that. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I might even just give it a little, like a tablespoon or something of lemon juice or lemon zest just to kind of brighten it up, even though the tomatoes add a little bit of that acidity to it. But anyway, the basic marinara sauce is great. But from what I've read and all this other different recipes and people I follow, the basic thing about vodka is that it changes the sauce a little bit. It kind of tempers kind of the sweetness because we will be adding cream to it. It kind of breaks up a little bit of the sweetness with the cream and the acidity of the tomato. It adds just a hint of sharpness or a peppery taste. We'll see, but I want to give it a try because, you know, vodka is one of Chris and I's, our favorite little drink, liquor that we drink. I backed off tremendously on wine because when you go the other way, a very simple drink, it's amazing how much sugar you taste in wine. Besides the point, wine is still good. I mean, come on, it's still good. So let's get going on making this sauce. Limited ingredients. I only had a half of an onion, so that's all I'm going to use here. And I'm probably going to make half of the recipe that I might give out. Because it's just Chris and I don't want to overdo it and have a ton of sauce and things like that. So I'm only making half of it. But the recipe that I will put out there for you guys will be one that you want to serve 4 to 6 people. So we're only doing half a recipe. And besides, I only had half of an onion in my fridge. but I'm definitely going to add 3 garlic cloves, onion, 3 to 4 garlic cloves, onion, some Parmesan cheese, some cream, some tomatoes, a can of, these are like, still getting over a cold, San Marzano plum tomatoes. I like using this style of plum tomatoes, like the Italian tomatoes, better than others. Since this is my first time of making this sauce, I have made marinara sauce with just crushed tomatoes. That way you don't have to really break these up as much. So if you want to use a can of crushed tomatoes, I think that'd be okay. Because you're still going to either want to use a blender. I have an immersion blender, which I love. It's a lot better than taking your sauce from the pot and putting it in the blender or the food processor, blending it up, and then having to dump. This way, an immersion blender, you know, it's that perpendicular device, whatever, and you just press a button, you can, you know, do it right in the pan there. So that's what I'm going to use. And of course, I don't even have one of the main ingredients, and that's vodka out here. So why don't I get that, my immersion blender, and some of the great taste of the sauce is because we're going to bake a lot of it, and that way it kind of evaporates some of it, and it really kind of creates this kind of roasted, rustic flavor instead of just sauteing it or just keeping it on the stove. So we're going to give that a try. So I'm going to get my immersion blender, the vodka. I think I need some oregano. I've got some fresh basil over here. Look at this. I've learned over time, because I read up and so many people have said it, kind of created a little greenhouse here, and it's staying a lot better without all the leaves getting all this black stuff. But, wait, do I still have water in here? Oh yes, I still have water. So we're gonna use some fresh basil in this sauce too, with a little bit of oregano. Just some green, some freshness to it. So, okay, let's get going. Amy Roloff's, or Amy's Little Kitchen. And we're gonna make vodka pasta sauce. And you can use this sauce over a variety of stuff. Like if you're making chicken parmesan, like a zucchini, lasagna, Roloff. Even though you may use a typical marinara sauce, you can still use this sauce for that as well. Okay, let me go get those few items and we'll get going. Look at that, I'm gonna open up a brand new one. And this vodka is from, it's a potato vodka. It's from a local place here in Oregon. So y'all know I'm a big fan. Now if I can only open it up. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I think I'm all ready to go. There's only a few ingredients here, but I think I'm ready. So as I was mentioning, one of our favorite drinks is just vodka and club soda. So I thought, why has it taken me so long to make this sauce? And I tell you the truth, I really don't know. But I'm excited about doing it today, and we'll see how it comes out. I'm just gonna chop up these onions, and y'all know, normally, I don't chop onions in front of you all because my eyes water, my makeup gets all over the place, and that's just not fun. It's just not fun for me, and I'm sure it's not fun for all you guys to see either. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm only making half of this recipe because it's just Chris and I. But the recipe that I will write up is for something to serve at least, 4, maybe 6 people. And this recipe, I'm not having a protein with it because it's late right now. Chris and I just got done filming, and he's still out doing that. And so I thought this would be a great, simple recipe to make. However, if it was earlier in the day, I would probably have some protein with it or something, because this will take some time to cook, not to make, but to cook, because we're gonna finish cooking this in the oven. Okay, I got all that going. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my garlic. I have about 4 garlic cloves here. So if you're only gonna do half, just do like 3 or 4. I'm just gonna do 4 probably. Because I don't want it too garlicky, and these are kind of big, so to tell you the truth, I may only do 3. This is kind of a normal size. Get that little papery thing out of there. There we go. And these are kind of big. So what we're gonna do first is saute the onions. Let me see, saute, and then we're gonna add the garlic and oregano. That's probably one thing I forgot to get. I don't know why I feel like I'm in a hurry. I just really don't know why. Probably because Chris always thinks I'm late, which is true. And I always feel like, oh no, I'm late, I gotta hurry. Well, I didn't pound that very hard. Normally, I don't get this large of a garlic clove, but these 2 were large, so that's why I'm only gonna do 3. Because I don't want to overpower it with garlic. But I know some of you who live in California, oh my gosh, you're getting so drenched with rain this year. And those that are still in the middle of winter, we're getting hints of spring. Doesn't it seem amazing that each time you have a change of season, your moods change because you're excited for that change of season. But when it comes to the end, you're like, okay, I'm ready for the next. Or you want summer or spring to stay forever. But I personally like the change of season. But yesterday and the day before, we had the sun out. It was warmer temperature, and it was really kind of fun. It was really kind of a fun time. Okay, I got that minced up enough. So we are going to, what are we gonna do? Oh yeah, red pepper flakes. Oh my gosh, why did I forget all this? I gotta get oregano and red pepper flakes. I'm looking, if you're wondering, my cookbook is standing on my Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen cookbook stand, but these are my notes. I want to make sure, you know, I'm telling you guys at least close as possible to the recipe that I'm gonna write up for you guys. Red pepper flakes, so vodka, okay, half an hour. Oregano and red pepper flakes is what I'm gonna get. So I'm gonna heat up this pan over here. We'll get started over there, okay? Because the rest of it goes into the brazier or the Dutch oven, depending on how much you're making. And then we're gonna stick it in the oven. Preheat your oven at 375. Okay. Okay, I have my onions cooking in here. Turn down the heat just a little bit. You don't want them to cook too quick. I'm gonna cook these a little bit without adding salt to it. Not that I wanna caramelize the onions, but I also don't want them to be cooking in their when you add salt, it releases kind of the water content. So I just don't want them to cook in that. I just kind of want them to cook by themselves, and then I'll add salt. This will take about 3 minutes or so. And then we're going to add in the garlic, oregano, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then in goes the vodka. And because I'm only doing half of a recipe, I'm only going to add a half a cup of vodka instead of 1. And like I said, I think this will go well with crushed tomatoes instead of the plum tomatoes that I'm using here, canned. Okay, just going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and the finished bit will be fresh ground pepper. Okay, I'm going to get the garlic. Garlic. And you just want to cook this until it's aromatic. Aromatic until, you know, you can smell it. The garlic isn't burnt, but it is cooked, getting soft. There we go. And then if you feel like you need a little bit more olive oil, just drizzle a little bit more in. Oh, it smells so good already. I mean, what is it about onions and garlic? Tell me. What is it? There we go. See? It's cooking away. I'm going to add in a little bit of the oregano. I don't know, half a teaspoon maybe. Because the fresh basil. And because the vodka may give just that little different kind of heat, I'm just going to use just a few red pepper flakes. I don't want it too hot. I don't want too much heat. But it will kind of help with the balancing of this cream sauce because you will add cream later. All right. So we're going to add in a half a cup. I know it feels like a lot, doesn't it? But you're going to reduce this for a little bit. You may want to reduce it by half, but definitely cook till, you know, some of the alcohol, of course, evaporates. And believe me, I can smell it. But we're just going to cook this for a little bit till it reduces a little bit. So that might take a few moments, like 3 minutes. And you just may want it at a slow rolling boil, not like overdoing it. Sorry, my little Daisy girl is whining. I don't know why she's whining. She may be smelling all this and wants to be fed herself. Okay. We're almost there. Just to give you guys a look. See, I mean, it's definitely reduced. And I got my tomatoes here. Maybe I need a sip of wine while I'm waiting. This is really good wine. I really kind of like that. Okay, it's definitely reduced by half, so I'm going to go ahead, juice and all. And I didn't realize this already has a fresh basil leaf, but I'm still going to add in some. I just kind of want to go slowly at this because I'm not going to get rid of the juice. Juice is half the flavor. The one thing I will add a little bit into this is a little bit of tomato paste. I thought I already had it out. Maybe about a tablespoon. Whoops. So we're gonna stir this around. Just kind of gently break up the tomatoes with your spoon. And so we're gonna put this in the oven, let it bake. Ouch. Sorry, this one bracelet, I don't know, I've never had a bracelet do that, but it gets hot over the hot pan. And if you want to use a potato masher, you can do that too. You know what this almost reminds me of? That I Love Lucy show, when Lucy was at the vineyard, the grapes, and she had to get inside the barrel and with her feet, you know, crush the grapes and everything. I don't know why that came to my mind, but that's what I thought about as I try and crush these tomatoes a little bit. Trying not to have them squish out of my way, but that I'm actually crushing some of them. Oh yeah, this one's better. I didn't want to crush them by hand because I could have used a potato masher because I didn't want it might be too hot. And then we're going to add the, okay, there we go. We'll add the cream and everything else afterwards. So this is going to set in the oven, preferably an hour and a half. I may not have an hour and a half, so I may just put it in the oven for an hour, but preferably an hour and a half. So it roasts, it bakes, it really incorporates all that flavor, especially with the vodka, the garlic, the onions, and oh yeah, it's going to be good. Okay, I'm going to put this in the oven. Oops. Should I show you? I always forget that. This is what it looks like before the cream. This is what it looks like before I put in the cream and before I put it in the oven. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I may move this thing around too much, don't I? Okay. Okay. So I'll see you back here. I'll see you back here in about an hour. Okay. Okay, you guys, well, an hour or so has passed, and I just got the sauce out of the oven, and we're gonna use the immersion blender to, you know, cream it up and puree it, really, puree it. And then I'm just gonna add in half of the Parmesan cheese to kind of create that cheesy little bit of flavor in it too. And then I'm just going to slice up, I rolled up the basil, and I'm just gonna slice it up a little bit. You could tear it in there too if you want. But I'm gonna add this after I use the immersion blender. And then we're gonna add in a little bit of cream. So I think I just need a little bit more Parmesan. I like to say Parmigiano Reggiano, or whatever it is. That's a type of cheese, type of Parm, I think. Okay, I think that's about enough. And you wanna reserve some of this Parmesan cheese, you know, to garnish on top, and maybe even a little bit of basil. In fact, I think I want a little bit more basil here. I'm gonna use a couple more leaves, kind of these bigger leaves. Oh yeah. And because I don't have fresh oregano, because I forgot to get that at the store, we are just gonna add a little bit more of dried oregano for our vodka pasta sauce. So let's see here. Oh yeah. Okay, let's go use, and my pasta water is cooking. Let's go use the immersion blender. I'm gonna bring you guys over here. I know, I think I had my wine somewhere around here, but anyway. Here we go. I'm gonna tilt that up just a little bit there. Okay, oh, there it is. Okay, is this hot? I think that's hot. And sometimes on these lids, I want to replace the metal lid with the black ones. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? Luscious. Okay. Clean up this stuff a little bit. And this is really what an immersion blender is. I think it's a lot easier than taking some of this, putting it in a blender or a food processor. This is probably one of my best utensils, appliances, or whatever you want to call it. And then you just want to just gather it a little bit. And the tomato paste, by adding the tomato paste, that really kind of adds a little bit of richness to it as well. And then we're gonna subtly, or I don't know what the word is, but kind of mellow it out a little bit with the cream. And don't worry, even though you added vodka to this, it's not like it, it's not like you're gonna taste the vodka. It just enhances the flavor of your sauce. And I debated, my next big question for the sauce is what kind of pasta to use. I wasn't sure if this pasta over here, and I think it's called a, I'm not gonna say it right, a bucantini, and so I wasn't sure about this. It's probably be enough for us. In fact, I might go ahead, but it'll take a while to cook because it's a thicker, bigger pasta instead of like linguine and stuff. Or if you have a penne would be really good. I just didn't think I had enough. I hate it when you use your pasta and you only use like half a box or 3/4 of a box, and then you just have a little bit left over, but it's not enough to make a meal out of. So then you got to find another reason for it. So I'm going to go ahead and use linguine. And this pasta will keep for a little bit in the refrigerator, or you could even freeze it. Okay, I think I'm done here. That's about enough. I'm just going to stand this up here in case I need it again. I am going to get my basil, sprinkle some of the basil in here. I'm just going to do a little bit of the parm. Kind of get that all melted in there. I'm going to turn on my heat to about a low, just so it stays warm. And then the cream. I just need about 1/4 cup. Because remember, I'm only using half of this recipe. Let's just stir that around. Oh. And of course, I'm hoping that Chris likes this. And besides, even if you're making your marinara sauce, you want it to cook for a while, just so you get that nice roasted, robust sauce, and it has a chance for all of the seasonings, the onions and garlic and all those other flavors to really kind of incorporate themselves into each other. So you have one cohesive sauce. All right. Some people call this the pink sauce because obviously when you add the cream, I didn't get a picture of this beforehand, did I? So we had that nice, rich red color. Now it's kind of like a pink sauce, orange sauce, whatever you want to call it, but oh. I'm gonna taste this to see if this, if I need to put anything else into it. Oh yeah, it's so good, you guys, so good. Okay, wow, we are done with this lovely, luscious vodka pasta sauce. And you could probably use this sauce for a variety of other pasta dishes too, not just for basic pasta noodles. You can use it probably for a chicken parmesan, zucchini, lasagna roll-ups, lasagna, whatever. It's just a little different take from your marinara sauce. So anyway, I added the noodles, the linguine noodles to it. If I had enough of the other noodles, like penne or something else, I would have done that, but this is what it looks like. Luscious, luscious. And I know Chris is hungry here because I'm getting this on the table much later than I would like. So I'm gonna try and kind of dish this up kind of fancy without getting it all over the place. Who doesn't like a full bowl of pasta? Look at the steam coming up. I'm so excited over this. If you had fresh oregano, but I'm gonna, or parsley, that'd be a good garnish for this. For some reason, I can't find my parsley. I have no idea where it went, but I couldn't see it in the refrigerator. So I'm just gonna drizzle, not drizzle, but just sprinkle a little bit of basil in there and a little bit of parm. Okay, does that not look great? I cannot wait to bite into this, but guess what? This is Chris's dish, so I'm gonna walk over there and give it to him. But check out Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. I would love for you to check out this recipe, and hopefully your family will like it, or my version of it, and keep gathering around that table. So anyway, oh, and check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. I would so love it. I appreciate all you guys doing that. But this is vodka pasta sauce, and I can't wait to taste it. So check it out, okay? Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I meant to turn it off, but I didn't. I am gonna dish myself up. I'm gonna try and, whoa, I didn't do that as nice as I did his. What in the world? Okay. Okay, I have to clean this up because I didn't do it as nice as I did Chris's. Why is that? Anyway, let me try and twirl this a little more. I don't know. I've seen so many people do that. They do it so perfectly well. So here you go. Sprinkle on a little bit of basil. I think that'll be a nice touch to this. A little bit of parm. And look at that. Okay. Get myself a little fork. I tell you, this kind of reminds me of our trip to Italy, but I'm just saying, I really like this sauce. It's a little more mellower. It's not quite as tomatoey. It's a little more creamier. And I think that vodka really gives a little bite. In fact, the vodka is subtle. It's not like you can taste vodka. I'm gonna do a little fresh ground pepper on this. So anyway, I hope you check it out, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and check out this recipe. So keep gathering around the table with family and friends, and I hope to see you back here in my little kitchen. Bye.